take a look at it. We'll get the project management documents that they had. I think we a couple of patents from the city as well at the time. From what we gathered, we tried to answer Zach's question adaptively. So Zach asked me to give him several different proposals on, what can we do with this basement? Can we keep it? Should we backfill it? What are the different options? And based on not knowing anything about the geotechnical conditions and not getting any advice from a geotech or a structural engineer, we made some assumptions. And Zach knew that those were all based on assumptions, and I told Zach, I need to have one more time some access to that building with the right people so I can at least get, some feedback to give more accurate prices. So I think the reason that we're here is to maybe talk about, I don't know if I'm involved, Zach can correct me, let's talk about the two options of either keeping the basement as is, and for that, what would we need for a foundation system? From a structural perspective.
I hate to interrupt you, but I think we've kind of, that ship is passed. I don't know if they should concentrate on that. I think that the parties agree to kind of look at the backfill option at this point, because I think that's the option that they should consider, is my understanding, because at first I think we came in, we looked at restoring it and then filling it with cement, and now the parties I think want to see the option about backfilling, right?
Yeah, what party?
We want absolutely nothing to do with backfilling it.
Okay. Oh,
we have.
But I mean, didn't the first proposal he said
no.
That you want? This is for the second proposal, so that's what I understand.
We don't want this. This is the city's attorney, and they want us to build in. It's got nothing to do with us. It's cheaper to finish this than it is to fill it in. That's crazy.
Right.
It's cheaper. It's more dangerous to tear this thing down. Everything about what you guys are proposing is crazy.
Let me do this.
Okay.
Conversation. Let me just explain what we're doing. The two options.
Okay.
At least I can get their feedback later on.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Maybe everything should be looked at then.
And as I told you, for some further studies for us to get more accurate information for its design,
right.
We will have to sign contracts with them, and they will have to, do a proposal for it.
Right. That makes sense.
You guys need to type the code violation. I'm not asking you guys to finish my project to do anything more than to correct code violations. That's it. All the experts have already said this thing is structurally sound. So what you guys should be addressing are those kinds of code violations in the complaint, nothing else.
So one option.
I think they're on the right path then, because they're going to look at everything. They're going to code violations then too.
Based on what options were available at the time, and it could have been considered a decision, so that's why Dr. Jason can get some kind of feedback, or at least a proposal to give us some type of feedback to get us to the next level.
But Jeff, wasn't the assumption original proposal about a security bill to an expense?
The suspension penalty should be including system type of bills. We thought that was somehow down all the way down to natural rate.
You can tax the bill out of it. The issue is how do you,
right. So,
how do you do it?
For that, the assumption was to fill halfway with dirt, compacted dirt, and then the rest of it was slurred. A lot of slurry, obviously, but
that would be expensive.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
That would be. It's cheaper to finish.
You know what? I think the issue about the finishing is mostly the existing work. How can you get the city of blessing on the existing work? Like, what's rebar?
The problem is this thing has been blown out of proportion. There were deficiencies in the very beginning that they wrote up, and this has nothing to do with the deficiencies work. That's, examples of the wires there. They're not to the current code, but they never allowed him to even have it to the point where he could call for rough inspection. So how can it be deficient in that respect? But the thing is, they should be, the last group was supposed to come up with proposals to address the deficiencies and what it would cost for that, not to finish everything else.
The deficiencies are issues like this wall has not been inspected. I mean, that's a deficiency for us.
Which wall?
I'm just pointing out any wall.
All these concrete walls were inspected, and the inspector that inspects them was here at the last meeting we had, and he acknowledged they were all inspected. It was Will Dan. Will Dan was the engineer. They had the city inspector.
Well, Will Dan is who the city contracted with.
There's another inspector that was here that inspected it from the city.
But that was listen, I don't know the whole story. I guess I understand your side of the story, but for all I know, it's a big question mark.
Well,
These were properly inspected or not, or if they were put in according to a approved set of plans by the city or not. Those were the correction notices that were on that list.
that's right.
Yeah.
There was also a claim that there was no set of plans. How do you issue plans? How do you issue a permit when there's no set of plans? And how do you have inspectors come out here when there's no set of plans or a permit issued? There's a lot of issues. My understanding is this was supposed to be a meeting to review what the deficiencies were. Apparently they're out here to address filling the thing in, which is what the city wants done, not the city is the only one that wants that done. So, I mean, I think they need to understand the whole thing that's going on here. But anyway,
All right, well,
I'm sorry.
Just in terms of what was supposed to happen, so assuming that it was going to be finished, is it supposed to be finished to this floor level all the way across and everything?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
And here's
And
obviously
then it's a little higher out in front or still at that? Is there, where we walk down in first?
That was built because he had the ramp coming down, and that's a temporary deck. That's just to keep water and everything from rushing down in here. That's going to be torn out.
Okay, but the plans you showed some type of steps coming down from that end, or I don't know.
Yeah, from the inside.
Yeah, from the inside. Okay.
And there's steps back here.
Okay, and then the permanent wall, assuming that it was built, would go back to this shoring system and spill down to that level, which that hasn't been completed.
Right.
Okay.
This level here.
All right.
No, that shoring has been completed back there. And it's backfilled.
No, I mean, he's talking about
on the
finish.
inside.
He's talking about
But
the
you're
finishing.
the excavation's supposed to come down to this level all the way back to the shore.
This is, yeah.
Okay.
This is
already done and then backfilled after the shore.
You can see the existing bars are in. That's just going to be continued
Okay.
straight across. The level you're standing on is coming straight across to the shoring over there, the slab. Yeah, to that shoring right there, the vertical
Which
shore.
there's supposed to be a poured wall on the inside face.
That's right. Right.
Correct.
And how that wall's supposed to be built in lifts? You have to get around the verticals.
Yeah, he was talking about doing it in lifts. Yeah, I think you're.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out
I think those stairs come from the upper deck down.
To the right financing I'm looking at, assuming that this is the street side. And this is the ramp that we walked in through.
What were the finishes?
Yes, this is the street.
Yeah, so this is where we walked in.
Yeah,
These are the stairs.
this is coming from up above, coming down to the lower level.
Okay. So, yeah.
So the roof structure, that's all being gone, that front.
Yeah.
In fact,
It's not even on this line. It's just, yeah.
correct.
shoring up there is the existing house.
Oh, yeah, you might have trouble with the school.
All right. I need to go look outside to see what's going on out there. So I guess I'm
I
done.
mean, you can walk
Yeah,
up there and
go
walk
Go
around.
around, okay.
You know.
All right.
Have too much information.
Yeah, so.
I mean, if you have any questions, how it's supposed to go, I can, feel free to ask.
No, but what we're saying is that this room is supposed to go all the way to the outside wall.
That's right. To where the shoring is, just on the other side of the lot.
Yeah.
So this is basically all being cut out.
Probably be removed yet, Jim.
Hey, Noyan? Yeah. Jeff makes a good point. It's like the concern about backfill as you take the shoring out, the vibrations, and there's a huge oak tree too in front that if you, that big oak roots have to be considered too as well, and it might
This area here, they have.
I don't know how you
They were talking about back, it's already poured.
They want to fill everything in with dirt.
Back in here,
Oh, you could
they haven't completed anything back there.
No. No, everything you see is what's being built, or where it's going to be built.
Project, from a final decision, I think it's interesting. I think, because you mentioned like the alley may have issues and the neighbors have issues as you are, if you need to backfill,
This area is from, we're working from this area back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this up above is coming out.
And then,
Being remodeled and some
and there's going to be stairs coming down here to get to this level.
Okay.
It goes down to get down to there.
It's really, I think, all, and you were also referencing to the correction notices from the city. The majority of the corrections from the city is either plans with no permit, or they're saying that they didn't inspect certain things. I understand the whole limit,
No,
they did or they didn't, but
I know.
I understand that. All I'm saying is, while that's the case, or city's angle on the issue, it's so hard to predict what it will cost to finish something like this, because cities can be, as I told you, ranking over the others.
maybe there's a range you have to think about permit cost, because it could be anywhere from 15,000 for permit cost.
Well, we assume 20,000,
Yeah.
I don't know, but before that, how much time and effort do you have to put in with consultants? Like, for instance, if this, a building from scratch like this was built and city had meant to do and we have to finish it, we would have to take probably, have as-built, have testing with the concrete, the strength of concrete. We would have to probably scan the concrete to show them what type of rebar is in there. If city is completely denial of
They
any
apply
kind
for
of
and everything,
inspection,
yeah.
right?
You can make it a lot
Exactly.
easier.
So, I think that's what it comes down to. If the city says, inspected it, we looked at it, yes, we understand it's for these plans, so you can resume from where these guys left based on these plans, and we can have an engineer look at those plans and re-stamp them.
And I think that's the ongoing issue that the parties need to figure out.
That's really it. I mean, otherwise, I don't disagree. It's just one statement, finish it.
And if they agree to finish it and having the plans, the old person who drew those up, it probably wouldn't be a problem to re-accept them. And I don't know where we stand right now with the old architect. I mean, does the architect own those plans or something, or is it not their plans? Not to
They
agree with plans?
They would normally, however, as for the structural plan, you can always get it. I mean, it doesn't have to be that one specific engineer. I mean, they can just look at the as-built. They would have to spend some time, obviously. There's have to be some initial cost to doing as-built, understand the plans, and they will also say, we assume that everything on this, or the existing structures have been built according to these plans. So they will have some kind of liability shift there as well. And from that point forward, they can take over the plans and finish it. Any engineer can step in and finish it.
The plans have been redrawn.
Yeah.
Jeff was the original drawer, so that he owns the original, so Jeff Hildreth.
Yeah, that's easy to do with the...
So, I mean, yeah, that part's not an issue.
I just don't, I mean, honestly, I just don't feel like the city's cooperating at all, so, how they can move, I don't know. But maybe things change, you know, negotiations are about, you know, changing positions, so. I guess we just give all the information we can to the court, you know?
Yeah. Well,
you make your point about the tree and the alley, I didn't think about reshoring if that, you know, save the three options, cement, backfill, or finishing, you know. The backfill thing, you know, but reshoring seems like an issue for vibrations of the tree roots and stuff, which is, I didn't even consider that tree.
and they don't want these trees to come down.
Yeah, well,
Those trees are...
they probably want this problem fixed more than not having a tree.
Well,
How's litigation going? You guys been any? Are you talking with the city at all on any of this stuff? Or you?
nope. I don't know where it's at.
We need to talk to the receiver then, figure out what is, okay, so it is option A and option B.
We will eventually just have a separate meeting for you to take a look at the property. If I
Okay.
explained this on the phone to you, it wouldn't all make sense.
Yeah,
But
it
coming
makes a
here-
lot more sense.
Yeah, I know. It makes a lot more sense, and that's
Yeah.
really why we are here for. And after this, we'll talk and...
Okay, all right. I got the picture now.
Mr. Brian?
Yeah. I've been studying the plan.
Yeah.
If I got any... I got one. Got a couple more in the car. I got some in the car.
All right.
So let's regroup afterwards.
Okay.
Christmas.